Yes. So I once again welcome you all for the today's session 2 on the topic previous gate problems on basics of control system. So in session 1, yesterday's session, we had discussed regarding the basics of control system. We had tried to discuss open loop system, closed loop system, sensitivity, and then various inputs and their equations and their nature, and some derivations also we had seen, and we tried to solve some basic problems also in yesterday's session. So now today we will try to solve some of the problems which have appeared in the previous gate exam. So I encourage all of you to have pen and copy with you, so that I will give you first question. Then in some questions wherever hint is required, I will give you hint also. And you just try for 1 or 2 minutes how we can go ahead for solving this. And if yeah, and also surely after 1 or 2 minutes we will discuss its solution also. Okay, but first you try to uh, think upon that problem, and always remember that gate problems are always based on the basic concepts of any subject. So that's why we have to focus on the basic things. So each and everything starting from the basic we should understand. Okay, so we will start with the session now. So now in the caption, I have noted down in the red highlighted words that this is actually the year, and that year that particular gate problem has come into the exam. Okay, so first problem you will see. So yeah, so this is the first problem what we are going to see now. So first problem is the unit impulse response of a system given as C of t is equal to minus 4 into e raised to minus
Your
t.
screen is not visible.
Okay, just wait. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Pointer is also visible. Yes, Tejas.
Yes, sir. Pointer is visible.
Yeah. So we will see the first problem. The unit impulse response of a system given as C of t is equal to minus 4 into e raised to minus t plus 6 into e raised to minus 2t. So this is exponential function. The step response of the same system for t greater than or equal to 0 is. Okay. So this problem is based on the section where we had yesterday studied various types of inputs which we can give to the system. So we had seen the section I would like to show you here. So yesterday we had seen this particular, yeah, yes. So this was the topic which we had studied yesterday. What we had studied, that this transfer function is equal to, that is f of s is equal to c of s upon r of s. F of s is nothing but the output. So output, sorry, transfer function. F is nothing but the function. So transfer function is equal to C of S upon R of S. C stands for controlled output and R stands for reference input. So C of S upon R of S. Then if we will do C of S is equal to F of S will be multiplied by what? R of S. So F of S into R of S is equal to C of S. Now we had seen that impulse response. Now what is impulse response? It is a straight line going towards going along the y-axis towards infinity. It is having arrow at the end, and its value will be given by r of t is equal to, we had seen yesterday, r of t is equal to del t, and it's r of s means Laplace transform will be what? R of s is equal to impulse response is equal to 1. Okay, then c of s is equal to, okay, I will just show you that notes only directly so that you can able to relate it. Yes, see, this was the section what we had seen yesterday. Various types of inputs. So this was the impulse. Okay, so impulse was given by r of t is equal to 1. Here it is. Then step. Okay, like that. We had seen yesterday this. And impulse input is this. Straight line going along the y-axis above. Straight line along the y-axis above. And this is the time. Okay, and its Laplace transform is what? 1 upon s. So 1 is Laplace transform of 1 is 1 upon s. And main important thing we had discussed that all these parameters are relating with each other like this. So f of s is nothing but our transfer function is equal to c of s upon r of s, Laplace of output upon Laplace of input. So c of s is equal to f of s into r of s. Let r of s is equal to impulse response. So r of s is nothing but impulse response. So impulse response is nothing but what we indicate by what? 1. So r of s is nothing but what? Reference input. We are giving input as what? We are giving input as impulse. So now what is impulse? It is 1. Similarly, we will have, now see, if r of s is equal to 1 and if we will put that r of s here in this equation, so what will happen? C of s is equal to f of s. C of s is equal to f of s since r of s is equal to 1. So what we will write here in the equation, C of s is equal to impulse response. C of s is equal to what? Impulse response is equal to f of s into 1. And what is f of s, sir? It is our actual our transfer function. So from this equation, what we got? Transfer function. Okay, what is transfer function is equal to Laplace of impulse response. Transfer function is equal to Laplace of impulse response. So this is our transfer function, and the relationship we got as this is impulse response, and when we take its Laplace, so that will be called as what? Transfer function. So transfer function, remember that transfer function is the term always in yes domain. Okay, similarly, impulse input, just like here, impulse input will be, impulse signal will be in which domain? T domain. Now, if we will take its Laplace, so what it will happen? R of s. Okay, R of s. So, R of t is nothing but the inverse Laplace of R of s. So, Laplace transform of, I'm writing here, Laplace transform of r of t. Laplace transform of r of t is equal to what we will get? Laplace transform of r of t is equal to r of s. Okay, is equal to r of s, and that r of s is equal to transfer function. That's what we have written here. Laplace transform of impulse response is equal to what? Transfer function. And one more important thing we had observed yesterday, that impulse response is equal to derivative of step response. Step response is equal to derivative of ramp response. Ramp response is equal to derivative of parabolic response. In the similar manner, if we will go in opposite direction, what we will get? Parabolic response is equal to integration of ramp response. Ramp response is equal to integration of step response, and step response is equal to integration of impulse response. Okay, so this concept we are going to use in this problem. Okay, so this is our problem. Yeah, so now the unit impulse response of a system is given as, okay, unit impulse. So impulse, unit impulse is 1, and c of t, c of t is nothing but what? Controlled output. Okay, control output is given as. Now they are asking us the step response of the same system. Now if we will give step input, so what will be the response of this particular system? Okay, so what will be the response of this particular system? Now just now we had seen what is the relationship between impulse response and step response. See, impulse response and step response relationship is this here. Impulse response and step response is what? D by dt of step response is equal to impulse response. Now, if we have to calculate step response, Can anybody tell what will be the answer if we have to calculate for step response? So step response will be is equal to what? What we will write for step response? We have impulse response given. Impulse response for the unit step input is given. So how to calculate step response from impulse response? Yes, can anybody tell? Yes, please. Okay, no issues. I will tell. So now if we have to calculate the step response, so we will take integration of impulse response. That's all. Okay, we will take integration of impulse response, and that is mentioned here. See, the unit impulse response of the system is mentioned. They are asking the step response of the same system. Now, if we are to calculate step response of this particular system, so we are going to take what? Integration of this. So this is the hint I am giving you. Now, I request all of you to solve the integration of this C of t. Take its integration and you will get plus C term here. Is it not? When we take integration of the equation, we get plus C term. And how to calculate the value of C? When we will put initial condition. Let's take t is equal to 0. If we will put t is equal to 0 in that equation, so we will get this value of C, which is mentioned in every equation here, which is mentioned in every equation, plus 1, minus 1, plus 1. Now we have to just check it, how much is the value of the integration. So please solve and let me know the answer. I will wait for 2 minutes. It's very simple. Please try it. You can type your answer, that is option A, B, C, D in the chat box also, so that I can understand. Are you getting? Yes, Mayuri had answered very correctly. Ganesh has also answered correctly the previous question. Integration of impulse response. Integration, yeah, very correct. Yes, anybody got the answer? This time is sufficient to calculate the integration of the function. Anyone? Anyone got the answer? How many of you tried to solve? Please let me know. Those who have tried, please type T in the chat box. It seems nobody tried. Nobody is typing T. See friends, if you will try, then it will be more understandable to all of you. Sir, please show the options. Sure. Yes. These are the options. Ganesh, can you tell which option is correct? Rupesh, answer is B. Okay. Rupesh, your answer is incorrect. Answer is C. Okay, just you missed the this particular term. See, integration is very easy. Here also you can just calculate. See what you are getting, minus 4 into e raised to minus t upon minus 1. Is it not? So minus minus will get plus. So 4 into e raised to minus t. So here also plus 4 into e raised to minus t is present. Here also is present. Here also it is present. Next, plus 6 into e raised to minus 2t upon minus 2. So minus 2 and 6 division will happen. So here we will get minus 3 into e raised to minus 2t. So minus 3 into e raised to minus 2t is here. Minus 3 into e raised to minus 2t is here. So B and C can be the options. Now we have to calculate the value of C, and plus C we will get. Okay. So here is the solution. So please see the solution here. See. So this is the solution of this particular problem. Okay. Yeah. So given is this, C of t is equal to minus 4 into a raised to minus t plus 6 into e raised to minus 2t. So the step response can be calculated as step response is equal to integration of impulse response. So step response is equal to this. Then we will take its integration. So what we will get, the same what we had discussed just now, 4 into e raised to minus t minus 3 into e raised to minus 2t plus c. Now we have to calculate this value of C here, which is being mentioned here in every option. So that's what we have to calculate and check. Now which value will be correct, because these two options are having only the same answer what we got in this particular point. So we need to check the value of C. So we generally calculate value of C by putting t is equal to 0. Okay. So then we will get C is equal to minus 1. When we will put C is equal to minus 1, we will get this particular answer. Okay, so this is the answer. So correct option is C. How many of you understood this problem? Please type Y. If you have not understood, you can write N also. Okay, I will repeat it again. No issues. It is not compulsory that you need to type it. Okay, wonderful. Majority of you have understood. So now we will move for the second one. Consider the following statements regarding advantages of closed loop negative feedback control systems over open loop systems. Okay. So these are the four statements they have given, and which of these statements are correct? Which of these statements are correct, that we have to find out here. Okay. So first statement, the overall reliability of the closed loop system is more than that of the open loop system. Okay, first. Second, the transient response in closed loop system decays more quickly than in open loop system. What is meant by transient response? The sudden change which happens in the control system at the initial time, it's called as transients. Now, or we can say, just like in our electrical engineering, we call it as the switching losses. So generally when we switch on the button, so when we switch on the button, the waveform we will see at initial time, it will be very peaky or very high, and high current or high current is very hazardous. So for that duration we need to have smooth starting. So that's why generally in the high power equipments, we generally have starters. So to avoid that, we smoothly start the button or we smoothly start the supply so that we will not have such transient disturbances in between. So that is this particular statement. The transient response in a closed system decays more quickly than in open loop system. So it should decay ideally. Okay. So that is the point. In third, in open loop system, closing of the loop increases the overall gain of the system. See, in open loop system, closing of the loop increases overall gain of the system. And last, in a closed loop system, the effect of variation of component parameters on its performance is reduced. Effect of variation of component parameters. Now, what are the component parameters in closed loop system? Input, output, forward path transfer function, and feedback path transfer function. That's all we have. It on its performance is reduced. Yes. So, which options do you feel that it is a correct option? A, B, C, or D? Think for 1 or 2 minutes and let me know the answer. Okay, let me check if anybody of you have answered in the chat box. Okay. I will give you a hint. There is one statement which is very easy. We just can group the options in that particular case. That one statement is 100%. We can just conclude that it is easy, and we can conclude it is correct one. Okay, which one is that statement? Yesterday we had stressed it a lot. Where we are having more reliability. Can anybody tell in closed loop system or open loop system reliability is more? We had discussed the example of fan and AC. Wonderful, Komal. So in closed loop system, we have reliability. Okay, reliable means what? We don't have to manually put any efforts. So it automatically adjusts according to our set values. So first statement is very clear. See, the overall reliability of the closed loop system is more than that of the open loop system. Yes, so this statement is correct. Now we just have to neglect the either of this. Okay, so now second and third, fourth statement is literally incorrect. Okay, and then second and third we have to check which one is correct. Now answer you have to tell me. Yes, anybody of you have answered? Yes, Komal, you are correct. The correct answer is A. Very good. So this is a GATE 2013 question. Okay, and the answer is A. Answer is A. These are the two things which are correct for the closed loop control system. The transient response in a closed loop system decays more quickly. Can any one of you tell why the transient response will decay more quickly in closed loop system? Because of presence of what? Because of presence of what? What is present in closed loop system which is not present in open loop system, which can minimize the errors which are coming in the system? What is that element which is present in closed loop system? Exactly, Rajesh. It is Feedback. Wonderful, Tejas. So it is feedback only, because of which we can decay whatever the errors are coming in the system, uh, which cannot be recognized in the open loop system. Okay, so this is the second question. Now we will move for third one. Okay, so now we have two more questions displayed on the screen. So we will have first question here. The sensitivity. Okay, the sensitivity yes t to k. Now what is yes t k? So t is nothing but one variable on which the sensitivity is dependent on, and k is the another variable. So yesterday we had seen the example of temperature, room temperature in the AC. So temperature of the atmosphere and room temperature, both are the factors on which that temperature of a closed loop AC dependent on. So the question is the sensitivity STK of a transfer function. Now transfer function they have given, which is having both the variables. Now here t is dependent variable, which is dependent on another variable, that is k. Now these variables are what we don't know, but their transfer function is given. With respect to parameter k is given by. Now what they are asking, sensitivity of function t with respect to k is given by. Okay, so for your simplicity I have given you this hint. Yesterday we had seen this formula. Sensitivity formula is equal to what? Percentage change in one variable, that is t, upon percentage change in k. Now that percentage change is very small, dou t upon t and dou k upon k. So what we write? Dou t upon dou k into k by t into k by t. So now you have to go ahead for solving further this particular equation. Now what you have to take? We have to just take the derivative of this t. You just have to take the derivative of this t and find out the answer. I am giving you 2 minutes. Please try it. This is the hint. You just have to go ahead with the calculation by using this formula. Try it. Let me check if anybody of you have answered in the chat box. Okay, so we will move for the solution. Now just we have to take the derivative. So here I am showing you the solution. See here. So now this is the problem. The sensitivity is given here and the solution is in front of you. So given is t. We have all given t. So sensitivity of t with respect to k can be written as this particular formula. That's what I have given you as a hint. Now when we will take it, so derivative of this particular function. So that's what we had just put here. Okay, so t value, whatever is mentioned here, that we have put in this formula, and we are trying to derivate it. So now when we will try to derivate it, it is a division. So while taking the derivative of division, we take numerator, okay, and derivative of the denominator and derivative of numerator. So with respect to k, this derivative will be 2. Okay, numerator's derivative will be what? 2 here. Numerator's derivative will be 2 only. Then minus this 1 plus 2k into 4 upon denominator whole square, okay, into k upon t. And what is the t value? 1 plus 2k and 3 plus 4k. 1 plus 2k upon 3 plus 4k, which is given here. So just when we will go on solving, so finally we will get 2k upon 8k square, 2k upon 8k square plus 10k plus 3. So option is C. So if you are able to see here 2k upon 3 plus 10k plus 8k square, so we will get what? Option C. So what is the trick here to remember? We just have to remember the formula what we had studied yesterday, sensitivity with respect to two dependent variables. So sensitivity will be having the two variables, and in this way we can calculate this. Okay, so this is GATE 2012 problem. How many of you have understood this? Please type Y. So I could understand that those who have not present yesterday, it will be little difficult for all of you, but just remember that what we had, what we are discussing now, what are the topics. Yes, how many of you have understood this? Okay, good. Yeah. So now we will move for the next problem. See, the first order low pass filter. First order. Now in yesterday's session, we had not discussed what is order and what is type of the system. But generally, we say that the order and type are basically dependent on the number of poles and its highest power, which is present in the denominator of transfer function. Okay, so okay, but that point, it's not necessary for the discussion of this question. Just I'm giving you the idea that there are types of the system and there are orders of the system. Okay, so it is a low pass filter of time constant t is excited with different input signals. Is excited with what? Different input signals with zero initial conditions up to t is equal to 0. Match the excitation signals XYZ with the corresponding time responses for t greater than or equal to 0. For t greater than or equal to 0. Now, what they are telling us, these are the three inputs what you are going to give for the system. X is equal to impulse this, Y is equal to unit step, and Z is equal to ramp. Now, we have to match the corresponding time responses of the system. Now hint is given here, you can directly check by d by dt of ramp response is equal to step response, that we know. D by dt of step response is equal to impulse response, that we know. Okay, so impulse response is equal to d by dt of step response, and step response is equal to d by dt of ramp response. If we will move ahead, then ramp response is equal to d by dt of parabolic response. Now, it is so simple question that we just have to check that which term is derivative of each other. Okay, which term is derivative of each other. Let's take e raised to minus t upon t. If we will take its derivative, so what we will get? If we will take the derivative of this term, so what we will get? If we will take derivative of this term, so what we will get? So in this way, we just have to check its what? Sequence, and accordingly we will get the answer. So first what we will get? Impulse. So impulse is nothing but derivative of what? Step response. So first we have to find out what will be the impulse response. Okay, first we have to find out what will be the impulse response. So can any one of you tell me the answer? I just have told you the hint to solve this question. Okay, because their relationship is what? They are a derivative of each other. Either this term is derivative of this or this term is derivative of this. That's what you have to just check here. And when you will arrange the sequence, so first is what? Impulse, then we will get step, and then we will get ramp. Yes, please try. It is very easy question. Let me check if anybody of you have answered. Yes, Ganesh has answered correctly. Yes, B is the option. Now let us check how B is the option. Now they have arranged this particular input in proper sequence. What we want: impulse first, then step, and then ramp. Why I want this? Because hint is saying that impulse response is nothing but the derivative of step response, and ramp is nothing but the and step is nothing but the derivative of ramp. So now see Q. If we will take derivative of q, we will get t. So see, if we will take derivative of this with respect to t is nothing but 1 minus t into 1 into e to the power minus t upon t, and again we will write what, into 1 by t. Again we will write what, into 1 by t, because this 1 by t, e raised to minus t upon t, so its derivation will be what, again we will get here 1 by t, so that t will get cancelled here. Okay, that t will get cancelled, so what we will get, 1 minus e to the power minus t, 1 minus e to the power minus t upon t. So if we will take derivative of this, we will get this. And if we will take derivative of p, we will get what? R. If we will take derivative of p, we will get R. Okay, so in this way, B is the correct answer. So this is the simple trick to solve this particular question. Okay, so we will move ahead. Okay. So now this is a NAT question. NAT means what? Numerical answer type question. They have not given the answers here, sorry, options here, and we have to just type it with the help of virtual keypad, which is being present in our GATE exam. Okay, so we just have to type it. Now, what is the question? The input minus 3 into e raised to 2t into ut. What is meaning of u of t? Yesterday we had seen that u of t stands for unit step input. It stands for what? Unit step input. So that's what it is mentioned here, where u of t is what? Unit step function is applied to a system with a transfer function. Now this particular step input is applied to this particular transfer function, to this transfer function s minus 2 upon s plus 3, full stop. If the initial value of the input is, sorry, output is minus 2, the value of the output at steady state is, we are asking what the value of output at steady state is. Now what we have here, so let us go for the solution directly, because we want some pictorial representation will be helpful for all of you. Let me check where the problem is. I have just chosen good problems which can be discussed within 1 hour. Yes, so this is that particular question what we are searching for. So it is asked by IIT Kharagpur in GATE 2014 exam. So see, given is what, R of t is equal to, R of t is nothing but what, this is nothing but input. So input is given in t domain. So R of t is equal to minus 3 into e to the power minus 2t, and h of s is nothing but what, here we are considering it as an output. So h of s is equal to y of s upon r of s. So sorry, h of s is nothing but the transfer function, and that transfer function will be given by output upon input. So output is y of s, which we have to calculate, at r of s. Okay, r of s is nothing but, if we will take its Laplace transform, but it is already given. What is that transfer function? When we are supplying this particular input to which transfer function, s minus 2 upon s plus 3, and initial value is given as minus 2. So this will be the system which is pictorially represented here. So r of t is nothing but input, we have to calculate output, and this is the transfer function to which this particular input is given. We can give any input to this transfer function, but now they are asking us to give step input with this particular magnitude. Now, taking Laplace transform of R of t. Why we take Laplace transform, sir? Because we have to calculate y of s. Because we have to calculate y of s, so we need R of s. Okay. So R of s is nothing but what? Laplace of R of t. So when we will take Laplace of this particular function, so we will get minus 3 upon s minus 2. How we will get this? Now we know that the basic Laplace transform of e raised to 2t is nothing but what? E raised to 2t is nothing but minus 1 upon s minus 2. Sorry, 1 upon s minus 2. E raised to 2t Laplace transform is what? 1 upon s minus 2. So that's what we have written here, and minus 3 is as it is. And minus 3 is as it is. So here this is nothing but r of s. R of s is equal to minus 3 upon s minus 2. So our next step is done. R of s we got. Now they are asking us the steady state. So for that we require this final value theorem. Now in upcoming problems we are very frequently using this final value theorem. Why we use this final value theorem? Because we have to find out the value of the S domain. When we have to find out the value of S domain equation, which can be easily calculated by using final value theorem. What does final value theorem says? See here, we have studied this in mathematics. So limit t tends to infinity. T tends to infinity indicates that we are calculating final value of what, sir? Y of t. What is y of t? Y of t is nothing but output in t domain. When we are calculating output in S domain, then y of S is mentioned. So limit t tends to infinity, y of t is equal to, according to final value theorem, limit S tends to 0, S into y of S. Limit S tends to 0, S into y of S. So what is y of S we will get here? Y of S, from this particular formula we will get that h of s into r of s. H of s into r of s. So that's what we have written here. Therefore, y steady state is equal to, the limit s tends to 0, s into s we have written here as it is. Next, y of s. What is y of s? Y of s is equal to h of s. H of s into r of s. So h of s is s minus 2 upon s plus 3 into r of s is what? Minus 3 upon s minus 2. Now, if we will put this particular limit to this equation, so see, s is in multiplication of the equation. What we will get? We will get it as 0. We will get it as 0. So for this particular system, the final output of a steady state, final output at steady state will be what? 0. So hence the answer is here 0. So we will get the answer of this particular system when this particular input, that is unit step input with multiplied of exponential function minus 3 into e raised to t we will do. So steady state output we will get it as 0. So we had used here final value theorem. Again, remember, when we are using final value theorem to calculate the value of Laplace transform function. Okay, Laplace transform function. For that, we will have the final value theorem where we will be able to put it, applying limit and get its value. Okay, so this is that particular question. So this is a numerical answer type question. Okay, we will move for the next one. The response h of t of a LTIS, that is linear time invariant system, to an impulse. Impulse is indicated by del t. Okay, impulse is indicated by del t under initially relaxed condition is h of t is equal to e raised to minus t plus e raised to minus 2t. The response of this system for unit step input, the response of this system for unit step input. Yes, this is again the similar question which we were discussing based on our relationship that impulse response is equal to derivative of step response is equal to derivative of ramp response. Okay, so here what it is given, the response h of t, okay, to an impulse. Okay, now what is impulse? Impulse input is del t and its response. So what is it given here? Can anybody tell? H of t is equal to e raised to minus t plus e raised to minus 2t. Is impulse response or step response? Is impulse response or step response? Please type. Yes, it is which response? Okay, I will read the question again. The response h of t of a linear time invariant system to an impulse under initially relaxed condition is. So which response it is? Simple. It is which response? Impulse response. Very correct. Yeah. So impulse response. The response of this system for a unit step input. So can you calculate what will be its response for the unit step input? So how we will calculate step response? So step response is equal to derivative of impulse response. Please try it and let me know the answer. So the hint is given here in the next. So that's what we had also discussed previously. So see, this is the relationship also. Okay. So we had discussed it in our previous problems also. So this relationship we are going to use here in this particular problem. Okay. So derivative, sorry, we have to calculate. Yes, here. So we have to calculate what? Step response here. So step response is equal to what? Integration. Step response is equal to what? Integration of our impulse response. So can you try it? Yeah. So this is the problem. GATE 2011 IIT Madras has set this problem for 2 marks. Okay, friends. See, I will discuss the solution because simple it is. So impulse response h of t is nothing but what? This e raised to minus t plus e raised to minus 2t. So now they are asking us to calculate step input. So transfer function of transfer function of the system in Laplace transform is what? Impulse response. Now I have to discuss this solution with you. Now Laplace of impulse response is equal to what? Transfer function. So transfer function we will get just by taking Laplace of impulse response. Okay, Laplace of impulse response. So first we will calculate what is the transfer function. So transfer function is equal to Laplace of impulse response. If we will take its Laplace transform, so what we will get? Laplace of e raised to t plus e raised to minus t 1 upon s plus 1 plus 1 upon s plus 2. Okay, because see 1 upon s plus 1, the sign which is there in the exponential, it just changes. If there would have been e raised to t, so in the denominator we would have got s minus 1. If here it would have been e raised to 2t, so here we would have got s minus 2. Okay, so this is h of s. So here we are getting transfer function. So this is the transfer function. Okay, c of s upon r of s is equal to 1 upon s plus 1 plus 1 upon s plus 2. Okay, so that we know. Okay, now they are asking us the response for this system for unit step input. That is, we have to go by the reverse procedure. Okay, now we will calculate here that particular step response because they are asking us for step. So this is the step response for step input. Okay, r of s is equal to 1 upon s. So h of s is nothing but what? H of s is nothing but the transfer function. H of s is equal to c of s upon r of s. So c of s will be what? So that's what we have to calculate. So c of s is equal to r of s into h of s. So when we will multiply them, finally we will get this particular answer. So c of s is equal to this. Okay, 1 of s will get multiplied here. So c of s is equal to, again we will just separate it with the help of partial differential equation. So now when we will use a upon this and b upon this, so we will use the partial differential equation here. So here we will get 1 and here we will get a as 1 and b as 1 by 2. Okay, so we will get this particular equation, and finally this is nothing but what? Our output response in s domain. So when we will have to take it into t domain, we will take its what? Inverse Laplace transform. We will take its what? Inverse Laplace transform. So 1.5 minus e raised to minus t minus 0.5 into 0.5 into e raised to minus 2t. There should be e raised to minus 2t should be there. Okay, so hence correct option is C. So C is the correct option here. Okay, so C is the correct option here. So what we had used in this particular expression, we had used this particular formulas. Okay, first we had calculated what? Transfer function. So when we calculated transfer function, then we got the transfer function for which we are able to calculate the response. Then we had used the formula transfer function is equal to c of s upon r of s, c of s upon r of s. Okay, and then what we have to calculate? this response for this step input, that is C. When we have given C as step, okay, step input, so that step input we will sorry, response for the step input, that is R, we have to calculate. Sorry, R is given. R is nothing but what? Step input. So step input is 1 upon S. Step input is what? 1 upon S. So we have to calculate what? C. So what will be its response? So transfer function we just now calculated by using this formula. Okay, Laplace of impulse response. So that impulse response is given us, and then for calculating transfer function, when we will multiply it, we will get it in S domain, and when we will take its inverse, then we will get its what? Inverse Laplace transform. Okay, then we will get its inverse Laplace transform. So this is the this particular question which is asked for 2 marks. So we will finally get this particular answer. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. We will take this problem after next one, okay, because this will take less time. So let us see now. This one is the option here. Okay, see here. A feedback control system with high gain K. With what? High gain K is shown in the figure below. So this is a closed loop control system which is shown here. So R of S is reference input in S domain. This is summing point with negative feedback because the sign is here negative. This is K. This is G of S. So both are forming a forward path, and H of S is nothing but feedback path, and C of S is nothing but our transfer controlled output. Controlled output. Then the closed loop transfer function is, then the closed loop transfer function is. So here we have to choose one of the option, that which option will be correct. Sensitive to perturbations in G of S and H of S. So the closed loop transfer function, what is CLTF? Closed loop transfer function. CLTF is equal to what? We know the general formula, G of S upon 1 plus G of S into H of S, 1 plus G into H. So what is G? Forward path transfer function. Now if we will calculate the forward path here, so it will get multiplied by K into G of S. Okay, because this is a block diagram reduction rule. When both the blocks are coming in series, we just multiply them. So we will get that K into G of S, K into G of S upon 1 plus K into G of S, or we can write just K into G. Let us take this as K into G into H. Okay, K into G into H. So this will be a closed loop transfer function. This will be our closed loop transfer. So they are asking us which option is correct from this 4. Okay, sensitive to perturbations in G of S and H of S. Next, sensitive to perturbations means what? Changes in G of S but not to the perturbations of H of S. Sensitive to the perturbations of H of S but not to the perturbations of G of S. Insensitive to the perturbations of G of S and H of S. So now see students, so here this is the formula and they are asking us the closed loop transfer function is sensitive to. Now they are asking us the sensitivity. Now we just have to, if we will go through the formula, it clearly indicates that yes, it will be sensitive to G also, it will be sensitive to H also. Why sir? Because it is in the formula. So as soon as G and H will change, so surely the value of C will change and it will affect their sensitivity. Yes, it will affect, but it is asking the sensitivity. It is not asking the change. Okay, it will surely change, but sensitivity, where it will be more sensitive to. So we need to go through some more analysis here, which is mentioned here. See, yeah. So here, see the solution. The given figure is shown below. So this is the figure. So K, G and H. The transfer function is given by. So that's what we had considered, C upon R, that is closed loop transfer function, is given by what? Kg. Kg means what? Multiplication of this. So by using block diagram reduction rule, when both the blocks are in series with each other, so they will be getting multiplied together. Okay, so Kg upon 1 plus g of s into h of s. So g is nothing but what? G is nothing but this all forward path, general formula. So we will write k into g. So k into g into h, k into g into h. If you are able to remember our yesterday's discussion, so this is a closed loop transfer function what we had studied as a yeah. So see here, this is the what formula, main formula of closed loop transfer function. So R of s and G of s stands for what? A complete forward path, and this for G of s is formed by multiplication of all the paths which are present, all the blocks which are present in forward path. Okay, so G of s, okay, and its formula will be given by this. So that's what I am mentioning here, G of s upon 1 plus G of s into H of s. So G of s is nothing but, in our system, is nothing but k multiplied by what? G. Here also in denominator also we will get G and k, and again H term is there, so we will write H also. So that's what we had written here. Okay, where it is here. So we had written here the formula like that, kg upon 1 plus kgh. So what is C we will get here? So C is nothing but kg upon 1 plus kgh into R. So they are asking us the sensitivity. So sensitivity for what? Closed loop transfer function. So see, if k is very high, they are mentioned in the problem, for a high gain k, always remember that every word in the gate problem is very, very meaningful. Remember it. Okay, can you imagine the designer of this question take near about 6 to 8 months to design one question, so that student may go in deeper and deeper insights of the concept and then answer the question. So here it is mentioned high gain k. It indicates that high gain k. Okay, so if k is high, so why it is called as gain? So gain is nothing but the what? The constant value which is getting multiplied with the forward path. The constant which is getting multiplied with the forward path, which is a part of our numerator of the closed loop transfer function, is called as gain. Okay, so if gain k is very high, so therefore in the denominator we have 1 plus kgh. So 1 is having very small value according to comparison with kgh, so it will be almost equal to what? Kgh, because 1 is very small value as compared to kgh, because k is very high here, so we will immediately write it down as kgh. So when we will replace 1 plus kgh by kgh here, when we will replace 1 plus kgh by kgh, so what we will get? Kg will get cancelled. What will remain? 1 upon h and r will remain finally. What will remain here? 1 upon h and r at last. So what does it indicate? It is clear from the above equation that when gain k is very high, output of the system is not affected by g. So finally, at final, what we got? G is not there. Okay, finally G is not there, but it is inversely proportional to the feedback path gain H. So it will be inversely proportional to feedback path H. So here that's why the correct option is C. So they are not asking us what will the change happen in closed loop system, but they are asking us sensitivity. Okay, so it will be sensitive to H of S, but not to the changes in G of S, because finally for high gain G is not appearing in our scenario. Finally, G is not appearing in our scenario. So that's why we will say that yes. So it is option number C. Okay. So we will take last question. The remaining question we will discuss in the next class. Despite the presence of negative feedback, see, despite the presence of negative feedback, control systems still have problems of instability because. Now you have to choose one of the option. Please take 2 minutes and answer this. I'm repeating the question again. Despite the presence of negative feedback, so it is closed loop system because feedback is present, control system still have problems of instability. Control systems still have problems of instability. Okay, so when control system will have problems of instability, so that's what we have to check here. Okay, so these are the options. What are the options? Components used to have non-linearity, dynamic equations of the subsystems are not known exactly, mathematical analysis involves approximations, and system has large negative phase angle at high frequencies. Yes, anyone? Okay, let us check the solution. C. Correct answer is A. Despite the presence of negative feedback, control systems still have problems of instability because the components used have non-linearity which introduces instability in the system. So see, although it is a theory question, but every point mentioned in the option comprises of big analysis. Okay, if you will see dynamic equations, so it is a complete topic in the dynamic response for the control system. We need to check it. Then mathematical analysis involves approximation. Mathematical analysis involves approximation. That's why the response is giving us which is nearly unstable. So that can be the case. But see, when we will study mathematical modeling, we generally see that there is very least approximation is used because we want more precise control system. So approximation is very rare. In certain cases only we use approximation. So that's why approximation cannot be the answer. System has large negative phase angle at high frequencies. Okay, so when the frequency of the response is getting changed, so the negative phase angle is getting changed. So it is basically the analysis of our plots, Bode plots and Nyquist plots. So there we get this response. Okay, but it reflects on the basic part, so that's why these options are given. So here correct answer is A. Okay, students. So I hope today's class was helpful to all of you. Just to refresh the concepts of our previous discussion. So we will stop for today, and we will discuss the upcoming topics in the next class. Okay.